What's up, comic book fans? And welcome to Comics Icons. Now, JJ, what they call me. And today, we got Absolute Batman Annual #1. And when I tell y'all this thing is straight up brutal, I promise you better believe me. And in case you guys missed the previous issue of Absolute Batman, I'll go ahead and put up a link at the top of the screen, and I'll put a card up for you at the end of the video to the playlist. But man, oh man, I'm telling y'all, this Absolute universe by DC has been absolute fire. These dudes is cooking over here. And this Absolute Annual kind of takes us back to the very beginning, to the early days of Absolute Batman. And I'm just gonna tell y'all now, this thing is straight fire. So if you guys are ready to find out what the early days for Absolute Batman was like, plus you want to see the origin of how he came into that super fire gigantic bat dump truck, then ladies and gentlemen, you guys know what time it is. Let's get it. So we kicked this issue off back in the day with Bruce as a young kid, as his father is reading an article in the newspaper about an extremist bombing. And Bruce's question to his father is, Dad, why did they do that? And his response is, I wish I knew, Bruce. And Bruce responds, what do we do? How do we make them stop? And his father tells him, I don't know. I'm just one person. I don't know how to fix the world. But I know what I'm good at, teaching. Every student I meet, I know I have a chance to make a difference in their life. So maybe someday one of my students won't make the same mistakes these people made. And then we switch over to a slaughter swamp, where we find a whole bunch of people that are squatting or displaced for one reason or another. As Bruce Wayne pulls up in an old beat up truck to a pawn shop where a guy seems to be waiting on him and tells him he finally made it. And Bruce apologizes to the guy that it's a long drive coming from Gotham. And the guy tells him, well, come on in then, city boy. And when we go inside this pawn shop, we see a whole bunch of big old weaponry. And the dude tells Bruce, as requested, explosives, modified rubber bullets, beanbags, the works. And Bruce is like, non-lethal? And dude's like, less lethal. And Bruce is like, that'll work. Then dude's like, I should know better than to ask, but what's this all for? Meanwhile, Bruce is like, I got my needs. And dude just takes that money like, and I got mine. Appreciate that. But then Bruce looks over at the impromptu settlement with all of the squatters, and he's asking that large project on the edge of town, what's going on? And the guy tells him that some company came in with big money and big promises. 3 months into construction, they up and left. Bruce is like, just like that? Dude's like, who knows why? What's left is what you saw when you drove in. And Bruce is like, well, where are all these people coming from? And the old man is like, man, hell if I know. Came looking for something better. They didn't find it. But then Bruce notices that the people are being mistreated, and he reacts. But the old man is telling Bruce, leave that alone, son. Nothing you can do. But it's Bruce Wayne. We know he's not going to just stand around and watch as people get jumped on. As we then see a bunch of people in pig masks, which is funny if you know the pig origin in the main universe of DC. But here you got a bunch of guys with pig masks on, and they're beating up some of these displaced citizens. And as they get to start stomping out these people, Bruce Wayne big ass comes in and knocks the pork out of one of them pigs. And the other was like, bro, you just made a big mistake. Bruce is like, we'll see. But then, as a surprise to Bruce, that old man from the pawn shop comes behind him and smacks him over the back of the head with a big ass wrench. You should have listened, city boy. Then another member of this group walks up and says, oh, well, what do we have here? And they tell this guy DJ that it's an out-of-towner with a savior complex. So this DJ guy decides to stomp on Bruce a little bit more. I love city boys. Hey, chin up, man. It's your lucky day. Tonight is when we get to pay back this horrible city that turned its back on our boys and embrace the swill. All that changes now. And they continue to stomp out Bruce, starting with you. But just then, an old priest comes in and lays across Bruce and takes some of that stomping. And they tell him, Father Peters, get out of the way. And the father knows one of the guys. He's like, Jeffrey, I've known you since before you can walk. This is not you. So then the DJ guy tells them just leave them on the ground where they belong and let's do what they came to do. And these guys all speed off. Meanwhile, then we pick up with Bruce, who's now laid up on a couch after the father took him home and tended to his wounds a bit. As the guy tells Bruce, I hope you don't mind. The hospital is a good hour away. They really got you good. Got us good, I should say. And Bruce responds, it won't happen again. And the priest is like, all right. And Bruce picks up a picture of him and he's like, is this you? And the man tells him, man, it's a long time ago now, but I made a lot of friends during that time. All of us chasing peace. A never-ending journey, it seems. But then Bruce asks about the tattoos that all of the boys were wearing and what it means. And the priest responds that 6 months ago, we had an outsider come, recruiting. I don't know much about him, except that he's been filling the holes in the hearts of our boys. All of the men here, really. He's giving them a dark place to go. Then Bruce is like, they said something was happening soon. And the guy tells him, a boy and his mother, they're from an encampment. Bruce is like, I saw. Well, they plan to run them out of town tonight by any means necessary. And for Bruce Wayne, that's all he needed to hear. He grabs his shirt and he picks up and starts to head out. And the guy's like, where you going? And Bruce is like, just stay here. But when they get outside, his truck is completely demolished. And the man's like, man, they torched your car. I'm sorry. But Bruce doesn't care. He's like, it doesn't matter. And he grabs a case from the bed of that old pickup. And the guy's like, where are you going? What are you going to do? And Bruce, with a steel resolve, tells the guy sometimes peace isn't an option. Sometimes words don't work. But then we pull up with this rambunctious group as they hover over this encampment. But then the boys in blue pull up. Whoop, whoop. And the police get out of the car and they address the leader, DJ, you know we can't let you do this. And they look at each other for a beat. And then they all just start busting out laughing as the police then put their hoods on. And DJ responds, good to have you here, brothers. The police are on their side. Good to have you all here, DJ says. Let's clean up this town. And then they run down into this encampment and just start raising hell. Do you see us? Do you see me? I am the new truth. I am power. Pure power. And then he had to go ahead and start saying it. He had to go ahead and start saying it, ladies and gentlemen. He got on his high horse and he got ready to say it white. And he raised that arm out, but it was caught by Batman, who turns that elbow inside out. Brutal. And I like it. And now the rest of the crew are like, get him! And Batman puts the boot to one of their faces. But then he takes another one of those police officers and he lifts him up over his head and he straight up slams the guy on his goddamn head. I swear to God, I think that neck is completely snapped. I mean, Batman is 420 pounds and he just did a power drive on this guy's neck. I'm talking about his memories are gone. His brain is mush. But then Mr. Pawn Shop owner, he grabs his weapon and points it at a little kid. Don't come any closer, man. Meanwhile, the other pigs are like, let's get out of here. And the old man's like, I'll do it, man. I'll do him. And while he's talking, he catches 3 batarangs straight to the face, both eyes in the temple, followed by a big ass knee smashing his face into I don't know, like a teddy bear or something crazy. Yeah, he broke his skull on that one. Then Batman notices a ring of keys attached to this pawn shop owner. And then we pick up with Batman as he's stalking DJ, who tries to pick up a gun. And he's like, get away, get away. And he fires, but it zips right past Batman, who then puts a fist right into DJ's face, followed by another one, and another one, and another one, and another one. Another mush brain. As that same old priest then comes running in once again, and this time he falls over DJ. Stop! What are you doing? Batman responds. This won't fix it. It won't, the priest defends. I don't know how to make it better. I only know how not to make it worse. Please, this isn't the way, the priest pleads with Batman. This is my way, an angry Batman responds to him. As we then pick up at a house where the cavalry's coming in. Boys, he got DJ. What are you talking about? He came out of nowhere, man. While we then simultaneously see Batman with that ring of keys in his hand, while the rest of the crew continue. Tell us what happened from the start. Somebody came at us, man. Someone huge, man. Meanwhile, Batman finds what those keys belong to. Dun, 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 dun. a big ass dump truck. Tonka Toys, I think. But he starts that thing up. Meanwhile, as the guys are all holding up in this building, why didn't you grab more guns? What about Earl's? We just came from there. Everything's gone. And then one of the guys looks out of the window of where they're held up, and he's like, oh my God, get back, get back. And then boom, Batman in that dump truck comes smashing right through that house. And I know Batman has a no killing rule, but I swear at least about 4-5 people are completely dead after all of this. Let me know your thoughts. But then Batman kicks open the door and more guys start firing at him, and then he breaks out that big ass battle axe chest plate and he gets to swinging. But then one of the guys, he fires until he's got nothing left, and it's just his gun is click, 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 click. Get back, man. You can't do this. We're human beings. So Batman's like, you know what? All right. And he drops his axe. And then he pulls out a damn flamethrower and tells them, no, you're roaches. And he gets to roasting. Only one way to deal with those. He fires on all of these suckers. Oh my God, this is the most brutal ever. And then the priest walks up with a med kit and he starts to help tend to these guys' wounds now. And Batman is like, why? And the priest tells him, you have your way and I have mine. As Batman then thinks back to that day when he was talking to his father, and he tells him, you did a lot of cool stuff when you were younger, Dad. And Thomas Wayne responds, I don't know about that. And Bruce is like, you made a difference. You did something. I'm going to do that too. I'm going to be just like you. I just have to figure out how. And Thomas Wayne is like, that was before the mustache, as they look at the picture. We barely knew what we were doing then. And if you notice the picture that Bruce is holding, a young Bruce is holding of his father, it's the exact same picture that the priest had. Meaning the priest and Thomas Wayne knew each other. But then Thomas Wayne is like, but I guess I barely know what I'm doing now. But you, Bruce, I know your nature. I know who you are deep down. You have a strong and compassionate heart. All you have to do is be yourself. No matter what you do, I'll always be proud of you. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of this issue. Now, there's a couple of other side stories in this book that I'm not going to go over right now. I'll let you go ahead and pick up a copy because this is worth picking up a copy and check it out for yourself. But you're going to need to see this because there's some stuff with the Black Mask gang and Batman fighting them early on that I think is must see. So please help out the comic industry and go pick up a copy of this annual #1. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to hear your thoughts and theories on what you thought about this. And do you think that Bruce straight up killed all of those people? I mean, that one dude next it has to be officially snapped. I'm saying. And do you like the little tie-in about the priest knowing Thomas Wayne back in the day? And what do you think about the reveal of how Bruce came into his dump truck? You guys know I want to hear all your thoughts and theories. And of course, I want to hear how you think that this annual issue gels with the rest of the Absolute Batman series going forward. Now, I know this annual was written by a different author. This wasn't by Scott Snyder, who has been doing the main Absolute Batman series. But I got to say, this thing was pretty good. And ladies and gentlemen, I would certainly appreciate it if you guys enjoyed yourself and enjoyed this video, then do your boy a solid. Get down there and drop a like, share this thing, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And the biggest thing that you could do to help this channel is to hit that hype button. This will put this channel in front of not just comic book fans, but all of YouTube with the more hype. So run those hypes up. Help your boy out. But with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate y'all for stopping by. But y'all know it's about that time. I'm out.